Hello everyone. Yesterday it was Rabindra Jayanti, the birth anniversary of the great Indian poet Rabindranath Tagore. So today, in honor of him, we will read one of his poem, Heaven of Freedom. The poem is from Gitanjali. First, it was composed in 1900. Then the poem is first appeared in 1901. Later in 1910, it was added in the Bengali version of Gitanjali in the name of Prarthana. Then in 1911, it was translated by the poet himself and added in the English version of Gitanjali. Now, see, when the poem was written, there was the rule of British in India, and all the people, the Indians, were very eager to get the independence and live freely. Here in the poem, the poet idealizes what India should be after independence, how people's thinking should be, how they should work towards perfection. So these are the things about the poem. Now let's begin. The first line says, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. The poet idealizes the new India, the free India. He says that in free India, there should be the mind of the people without fear. And the head of the people should be held high. Means people should have self-respect and dignity. Again, where knowledge is free. Knowledge is free means that knowledge should be free, it should not be just for a section of people like the high class or the ruling class. It should be for all the people. It should be available for all sections of the people. Then, where the world has not broken into fragments by narrow domestic walls. The poet is saying that the world, the India, particularly the India, our nation, should not be broken, should not be divided into fragments by narrow domestic walls. Means that India should not be divided among narrow thinkings. Like there are in India, we have a lot of people of different castes, different creeds, different religions, different food habits, and there are variety. There are many types of people. There are diversities. So they have different tastes, different thinkings. So there should not be any division among them. All should be united. Where words come out from the depth of truth, where people should speak only the truth. The words of the people should come out only from the depth of truth. Where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection. Means people should work tirelessly towards perfection. If they work tirelessly, then they will be more perfect. Their work will go towards perfection. Where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habits. People should think logically and rationally. That's why he is saying that where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habits. If people think logically and rationally, then their thinking will not go lost in any way. And that dreary desert sand of dead habits, what it is meant. Dead habit means baseless beliefs and customs, we can say superstitions. So if people think this way, rationally and logically, then the dead habits like superstitions and blind beliefs, these cannot do anything to their rational thinking. Now, in the following lines, the poet says, where the mind is led forward by thee. Here thee means God. He is praying to the God to lead the people's mind towards towards perfection and into the ever widening thought and action, where the God will lead the mind of the people into the ever widening thought. People's mind should be ever widening, should be full of ever widening thought and action. And then in the concluding line, the poet says, into that heaven of freedom, my father, let my country awake. He is saying that in such type of a nation, my father means God, let my country awake. He is praying to God to awake the country into such type of a nation. Means he wants that type of nation where there should not be any superstitions, any blind beliefs. People's thinking should be rational and logical. There should not be any fragments among the Indians. There should not be any kind of narrow domestic walls, like any barriers of religion, caste and creed. There should be people's thinking should be logical, and knowledge should be free. The education, the knowledge should be available for all, and where the mind is without fear. People should not live in fear, and they should have a self-respect and self-dignity. So this is the poem, whole poem. The poem is very short in length and it is very beautiful. You can read it from the internet line by line. If you don't get it, you can ask me in WhatsApp. I will try to solve your queries. Okay, there are some important questions from this poem also. I will give you this in WhatsApp. Okay, and next tomorrow or maybe day after tomorrow I will come up with other videos. Okay, till then, bye.